Welcome to the Round Tower at Copenhagen. So welcome to the top of the roundhouse for sunset. So I paid 60 Danish krone to come up here because I wanted to try and catch a nice sunset. And I thought it was included on the Copenhagen card, which I'll talk a little bit about because I forgot to charge my GoPro before I got here. Then I thought from the airport I was on the wrong train. Turns out I was on the right train, but I got off in a panic and then got back on and I won like 5 minutes there. That's fine. But yeah, this is the view. It's called the Round Tower. It's not included in the Copenhagen card since April 2004, so I clearly haven't done my research. However, there is something called the Church of Our Saviour with the steps outside, which doesn't have the railings on like this. So if the sunset's good tomorrow, we'll get a good one on the outside of the church. It's really unique. I'll show you the hostel when I get back also that I'm staying at in a pod capsule, and I will also show you some of the sights tomorrow. Starving because I haven't had nothing to eat since I was at Newcastle airport from about 12 o'clock or something, and obviously now it is 10 to 8, so I'm hungry and I'm also nervous on how much it's going to cost because they say Copenhagen is one of the most expensive cities. So yeah, fun times. Okay, let's head back down. Now that I've come down, that sun's gonna set below that really, isn't it? But the reason I came down is this is what I wanted to show you. So I worked out 60 kronas. It's like £9.50 to £10 by the way, so quite expensive. But this is the Round Tower. We're just gonna have a little look through there. I was getting some dirty looks up there as well because I did have my Insta360, which I'm still learning to use, and I had that round to see whether or not that looked good. Now I can see that the sun's come out. I'm fuming because I've come back down. Should have maybe stayed up there because now the sun is peaking below the clouds. But I wanted to come back down because I'm so starving. But maybe, just maybe, I should have waited. What do you think? I mean, it's not amazing, and I think, do you know what I mean? It's not the best sunset in the world, but it would have been nice, and I've still got tomorrow to try the Church of Our Saviour that I was telling you about, and I still have Sunday as well. So I need to cram as much as possible into those 2 days because I have got the 72-hour Copenhagen card, but I still paid over £100 for this ticket, which includes the metro, up to 80 attractions. But this one, it does not include since the 1st of April 2024, and I've rushed here sweating, thinking that it would, and it turns out it doesn't. Damn it. Show you this little old privy toilet. As you can hear, noisy kids down here. I'm gonna have to get something to eat because I am starving. A little bit of a museum in here. So this is included in your £9.50 ticket. Also toilets in here, which I might utilise because you have to pay for the toilets in Copenhagen. I'm staying in the Copenhagen downtown hostel, looking out onto that main street. I'm on the 5th floor. Good morning from Copenhagen. Wow, I'm tired. So this hostel here, downtown Copenhagen, wow, only stay there if you like the party because that goes on and on and on until crazy hours of the morning. Bouncing music like you're in some kind of old school nightclub. I might as well have been raving last night. Sorry, I'm following the sat nav. I am so tired. This morning they were obviously had the bin men and they're doing whatever they're doing back there, as you can hear. Wowzer. Now when I went to Poland I thought that hostel was loud. Obviously I had a private room there, so I've got one of those pod capsules to try and save a little bit of money while I'm in Copenhagen. I'm not sure it's worth it. I mean, on Monday I have to be at the airport. I'm worried I'm going to sleep in, to be honest, with all this nonsense that's going on a night. So I don't know what language they were speaking, but they came in like 4 AM, 5 AM, running in and out, slamming the pod doors. It's supposed to be a quiet zone. it's anything but. Although there is a Turkish guy, I think, that's staying in there, and he is very quiet like me. But the others, I don't know what they're doing. I think they double beds underneath, and it's wild. It's wild. So this thing chimes every hour and every half an hour up until about midnight. So I'm heading to a place called Buka Bakery, I think. I've made myself a little itinerary today. The weather's not looking as nice, but it's meant to be alright. I've got a little poncho in case it rains, because yesterday it wasn't meant to rain, and guess what, it rained, just like the UK. So it's pretty quiet at the moment, probably because everybody's been raving all night. So I am absolutely dog-eyed, because everyone's just been going wild. Wow. I've also just seen as well on a sign on the TV when I came out of the hostel that they do bike rental for, I think it's 160 Danish krone, something like that. Anyway, it works out about 16 euros, so call it about 15 quid for the day. So I might do that tomorrow if I can find out who I rent that from in the hostel, as there's like a pub next door. So this is where we are. It's not the one that I originally wanted to go to, but I think this is where we are going to go. So it's about a 20-minute walk to Rosenborg Castle, which is where I'm trying to get to for opening for 9 AM. I thought maybe it might be quite quiet. We'll come past the central station. There's people out and about, they're jogging. I think there's coaches down here maybe dropping off at the castle. So I'm expecting it to be busy. It is Saturday, it is bank holiday weekend in August, so I wanted to be out early. And I'm sorry that I'd already half eaten the croissant before I showed you that, but that was the pistachio one. They highly recommended these bakeries, so you do need to check them out if you're here. So apparently the price for this castle is 160 Danish krone, I believe, but if you've got your Copenhagen card, then, sorry, I'm distracted by this bus because we've all got to get in a queue, get a time slot ticket, and I'm worried that these bus people are going to get in the queue before us, and then I'm not going to have a time slot. But there is a backup plan if I don't get a time slot. There's a botanical garden just opposite, that's included in the Copenhagen card. I'm really trying to get my money's worth on the Copenhagen card, and then I can tell you whether or not it's going to be worth it depending on what you're going to do. So the ticket slot is for 9:10, and your bags need to be left in lockers, which are free of charge with keys apparently. So here we are. Come around the back here, so it's got guarded soldiers. I did want to walk along with me Insta 360, but I think they might have something to say about that, to be honest. I very much doubt I'm going to get away with walking along with a big stick in a bright yellow jumpsuit, bringing attention to myself. So I thought I'd bring you around the back so you can have a look. Looks like it's going to rain, to be honest. So I'm not talking because what I want to say, I can't really say. You know the song, Caught in a Trap, Can't Look Back. I'm in the tourist trap. Here's the view. People were clamming as well on the 9:20 ticket to try and get in on the 9:10. I don't know if this is it, to be honest. I think there might be another floor. Oh, I'm a bit close to the camera there. Here's all the queues of people. So it's getting absolutely rammed in there. So now the plan is to maybe do the touristy canal boat at 10 AM. It's a 20-minute walk back to where I've just come from. I'm tempted to kind of walk around the back of there for the castle views. However, I want to get this touristy stuff done, because that's a complete tourist trap. It's interesting, it's beautiful, we've got lots to do today, so I feel like you can't enjoy it when there's massive groups all speaking in different languages. Like, my head's bouncing and I've had no sleep, so my patience is super duper thin like tracing paper. So because the weather is shit crap, right, I'm thinking about going into the immersive museum, which is also included on your Copenhagen card, just to see how that weather goes, because the boat trip I'm worried it's going to rain, which is fine. I've got a crappy little pink poncho, but you know. So here. But it is pretty cool. So funny to hear all the Germans as well. Oink, 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 oink. So the next boat tour is 11, which means I will miss the changing of the guards at 12. But the sun's coming out, so it should be perfect.
Are we crossing, Pete?
It's like the Tokyo crossing but Copenhagen, eh? I've only got 10 minutes. I've come in the Christiansborg Palace. I felt like I was in a black and white movie there. Had to check that it was still in colour. So now the sun's out, I'm sweating. Had them crazy things on my feet. Obviously this is super busy. Ooh, I'm out. So I think the boat leaves at 11. I'm supposed to be there like now. It's only 5 minutes over the road, but still. Rush, 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 rush. This was actually in tomorrow's itinerary, but I wanted to try and just have a little sneaky peek, if you like. Blue skies, which is perfect, which is why I need to get on this crazy boat. And the changing of the guards was for tomorrow, not for today. After the boat ride on my itinerary, when I checked, I'm going to go to Freetown Christiania. I hope that recorded. But the tourist trap boat, every man and his dog is ready to get on there, including me. I normally hate the tourist trap things, but apparently this canal is the best way to see Copenhagen by. I don't know whether or not that one's mine or what.
Is this early in the day? On your right hand side you have the Parliament. Used to be the Royal Palace, but now it's a Parliament. And you have right on the left hand side, you have the actual Folketing Parliament. So here in the first bridge, please stay seated. It used to, the rainwater used to run into the sewage and into the harbour. Now we have here. Now we're passing under one of the main streets leading out of Copenhagen across Christiansborg to and the airport eventually. And yes, that is a nice restaurant and a some of that. Complicated. The Black Diamond. That is the Royal Library, and it is made out of black granite and glass, of course, and it's tilted 7 degrees towards the wall.
Freetown Christiania. So I'm going to find some food. That's what I'm going to do. So I've just been reading as well, at 3 p.m. every day in the summer, there's a local guide. It's 60 Danish krona. I'd have to do the conversion for you, but they will give you a tour of Freetown, Christiania. Obviously, as someone that's lived there all their lives. So if you wanted to do that, that's 3 p.m. in the summer only. Also, there's a lovely little lake that I've just shown you. That food was delish. And to book the Church of Saviour, you also need to book a slot. So you need to go on the Copenhagen card app and book a slot in. So these are the toilets just beside the bar. I just thought I'd show you in here. But if you need the toilet, from the restaurant, red sign, Nemo Land, to the bar, to the left of there. So they even have their own flag. And it's mad that people would live here in this little neighbourhood. Obviously not governed by any laws. So they've got their own merch, they've got all their own shops, food and drinks, services. I have no idea where this leads to. I'm going to save my battery because I really want to show you this church with the stairs that are outside, the last 150. I can't go in yet. The woman's been like Hitler on the door. Nobody enters until 2:30. It's been a prison. So we're on our way up to the Church of the Saviour, the one where you've got the steps outside. My hair looks wild. I'm going to get the Insta 360 out. There's some people coming behind us, so I'm trying to hurry up. Otherwise they're going to be in like it. Behind us get, oh look at this. Don't get too excited yet. We're still on these stairs. I thought I was going to be outside like. But no. Still these ones for now. Don't know what's in there. Oh. Not any people wandering about. Just let about, I don't know, 10 people down the stairs, not one of them said thanks, in whatever language that is. I don't know if I'm going through here. I'm definitely not going through there. Looks like we continue up. It's chaos on the stairs. Chaos, and not one person says thank you. Or tank, I believe it is. In Danish. Maybe. Oh, it's getting a little bit more exciting. I can feel a little breeze. Yep, feels a little bit breezy. Nice. So them are the stairs, for those that need to know. Can hear loads of music or something up here. Obviously this is heavily advertised on TikTok now, so sorry. I can tell the way you're clinging onto that. It just stops dead at the end and there's just like nothing. So the views are pretty epic. Definitely the best views. Definitely worth coming up. Don't know if you can hear me for the wind. Yeah, pretty cool. It does just stop dead at the end and there's literally like no space for anyone at the top. You can literally stand there squished in. So that's just a heads up. I don't know what I expected, like a platform, or I expected something where you could like stand and get your picture. No, it just literally stops dead. I'm going to try and get some 360 footage. Hopefully it turned out alright, but I can't guarantee because I'm not the best. And it's a strange little setup. I don't know where that music's coming from. Yeah, all in all, pretty cool. cool day, but yeah, this is what the steps look like, and that's your rail in there. Just missed that. So I'm heading to the NY Carlsberg Glyptotech and then onto Tivoli Gardens, which you can see in the background over there. So apparently that's in the Copenhagen card, so I'm going to do that. I might even get a chance to show you the hostel, because I'm going to call there because I've only got one charger because the charger wire broke. So I was going to try and charge the GoPro and take it round, but I'm told I've got to leave it in the locker. So I'm coming back to the locker, which you need a 20 krone coin for in order to get in the locker. So I'm going to leave it here, guys. So we're in. So welcome to Tivoli Gardens. It's like Copenhagen's Disneyland. I would love something nice to eat, something nice to drink. It's the maddest thing I've ever seen. So I wasted my money yesterday going up the round tower because look at the sky. Look at that. And I've got a massive blister on my left foot underneath and it's killing. Oh, like proper killing. So, and I've got no charge left on nothing because my cable snapped. So I've only got one charging wire for GoPro, Insta360 and phone. Phone's nearly dead. GoPro, to be fair, is hanging in, but it keeps knocking itself off. So I'm on the 5th floor, Copenhagen downtown hostel. Nice views. It's pretty hot. It's a lot of rooms. I've also just realised there's a lift. I didn't know that. Literally just seen a couple standing, getting in it. Didn't even see that. That's how tired I am of staying here. Tired, like my eyes feel like they're down to my knees. Just looking to see if there's a sunset spot somewhere on here. It's a shame there's not a rooftop bar. That would work, even though I don't drink. So here we are at quiet zone. Are they taking the PISS? There's the toilets. Showers. Pretty standard. It does. The issue is the noise, and I'll try and show you my pod if there's nobody in here at the minute. Good morning, good morning. So this St. Peter's Bakery, that's one of the oldest bakeries. It's not open today on a Sunday, it's not open until tomorrow. Google has just updated this morning, so we are going back to Buka Bakery for what we had the other day, and we might get the cream and the raspberry one because that looked delicious. A little bit tired still, but I got a little bit more sleep, so yay. Had earphones in and everything, trying to do the noise. Got on the wrong metro, didn't I? Not paying attention, going the wrong way. Anyway, after 2 stops I was like, I best get off and go the other way, so I went back to Central. Got on the right one, and then I've gotten off at Frederiksberg or something, currently in the park. It's like a 20-minute walk to the zoo, and I did see on TikTok that apparently there's somewhere in the back of this park where you can see elephant enclosures from the back for free. So if you don't have a Copenhagen card, or you don't want to pay for the zoo, you can see elephants because they let out several times a day. Don't know what's going on here. Obviously, rural area, everyone's jogging. Let's hope I'm going the right way. Best check the maps this time because I tend to go off on a tangent and a wander, as you've already noticed. If I'm not mistaken as well, this Copenhagen card includes Frederiksberg Castle, and I think you can climb to the tower with the Copenhagen card, possibly. I'll let you know. And also I think there's a Viking ship museum or something near it as well, just on doing a little bit of research. Also, I'm sure possibly there's a ferry here that goes to the neighbourhood Refn, maybe. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I'm sure this is the area. So we're walking this way apparently to try and find the zoo. And then apparently behind this should be Frederiksberg Slot, which I believe is the castle. Now it's a Sunday, so I'm expecting this to be quite busy. All of this for some pandas, eh? So yeah. So all I did there was just scan the Copenhagen card, let me straight through. Let's take a look at today's programme. So who made the poo? Chimpanzee, that's in Danish, it's no good. Assist and feed the chickens in Danish. That'll be interesting. Elephant talk in Danish, leopards, pigs, everything looks in Danish. Tasmanian devils. Pretty good programme, but only if you're Danish, yeah? This sign is in Danish, however, thank God it's got a picture on. A savine is a giraffe. Elephant, pretty easy, I suppose. Not sure what's in here. Everyone seems to be hanging around over here. I wouldn't normally support zoos, but we'll see. We'll see what they like. Apparently I've heard good things, but let's see, yeah. It's the polar bears.
Enclosure, because I'm about to tell you a bit about polar bears in general and a bit about our bears here in Copenhagen. Here in Copenhagen Zoo we have 3 polar bears. We have a young adult here. She would be about 30 years old if she were a human. And then we have her mother and an older female also. They all live here in this enclosure, but they also have a milk pot we aren't allowed to see, and the old polar bear enclosure. Now, as polar bears are quite territorial.
So as you can hear, they're doing the talk in English, which is really good. I came around here to see if I could see the other bears, but you can't get round. Lions in here, so that's what's in here. I did wonder.
Die kleinen, die Baby Lions, they're not so small anymore.
Jeg tror, det er en baby.
It's supposed to be brown bears in here apparently, but I can't see anything. They could be hiding. So I think that might be the bottom of the park down here, where people were saying it looks onto the elephant enclosure. I think that's part of the park down there. Doesn't look like there's any pandas, so that's going to be disappointing. These are pointing over here as if to say Maybe it's hiding, but a lot of disappointed people. That's what we came for, pandas. And this looks more promising with people over here. Oh, there he is behind the tree. He's trying to get out of the sun, yeah? Is that what you're trying to do? The sun's bright on him. In this Frederick Park, as you can see on the back along here, you've got the elephant observation deck, so you don't have to pay to get in the zoo. So you'll often see the elephants over here. You can see these guys are watching there for free. Top tip if you're coming to Copenhagen. That's right. Itinerary gal. So yeah, I found this little secret viewing platform. How cool are the pandas though, really? That's the first time I've seen a panda. I would love to go to China, to the sanctuary. It's high on my list. Oh dear, I don't know how to get out of here. I've never seen one like that before. Hello. And a baby. And then underneath here, we go down here and round, you can see them swimming underneath. I need somebody who's an expert on this kind of thing, but that person, right? So what I think it is. Apparently this is leopards, possibly snow leopards. But yeah, anyone got any inside information, like actual expert information on that? Cause yeah, I feel bad. I would love to see one in the wild in Africa. If the universe is listening. Africa. Well, I can't see the chimpanzees, but I think I might be ready for a nice coffee and a bit of a chill. It's a nice sunny day, blue skies in Copenhagen. Well, looking at this map, I think I've only done like half, and I haven't seen butterflies or this. There was no brown bears, so it looks like we've got giraffes and zebras and hippos and everything here, so I'm not nearly done, clearly. So I need to find this now. It's the tortoises. That's what all the kids are hanging over here for. Can I just say they even do fish and chips here? Mental. There's an amazing little drive-through zoo actually where you can do rhinos for anyone that's interested in the UK. Well, actually there's one in Scotland, which is really good. Blair Drummond Safari Park. You drive through, you can also do experiences with the animals. I did that. There's also another one just outside of Liverpool, not Chester Zoo, so that's pretty cool. So I'm walking you around to see the giraffes closer and the rhinos and everything else, hopefully, down here. Oh. Fun fact, did you know the hippopotamus has webbed toes? Better? Loads better over there now, isn't it? Hello. In the petting zoo part. So yeah. So I'm out of the zoo and I'm trying to find another place that is on the Copenhagen card. Oh, this is spooky, right? Spooky. Again, it's with the Copenhagen card, you've got to go underground. I have no idea where I'm going. So it's Denmark's only dripstone cave, and apparently it's from the Ice Age, so that's the geology behind it. Pretty spooky really. I think it's kind of the same way in, the same way out. Obviously the floor's quite wet, you can see. But yeah. And this is underneath the park. Not gonna lie, if I was down here by myself, I would absolutely crap myself. So, like SHIT, especially with the spooky noises.